Halo, 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 hai, hai, halo, assalamualaikum, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo, selamat sore teman-teman semuanya. Hari ini kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol sama Isman Tanuri. Isman Tanuri ini adalah, halo, hai, hai, Jean, halo, halo, uh, hi, here we are. Hi Isman. Hello, hi everyone. So this evening we are going to have a discussion, not discussion lah ya. Hi Isman, how are
Hello.
you?
Hello, good.
Hello, good, good. Uh, how is Singapore right now?
It's still okay. Still at home and keeping safe. So yeah, it's
Ah,
still right.
thanks God. Okay, so guys, today we have Isman here. Isman is an agile coach and he is a certified trainer for Management 3.0. And today we are going to talk about what is Management 3.0 and why it is important for agile leaders and what is the different concept that Management 3.0 offered compared to other leadership concept, yeah. So for you are come from Indonesia, don't worry, Isman is very fasih bahasa ya, because Isman is bolak-balik Bandung, Jakarta, Bandung, Singapura ya, Isman. Maybe you can tell something about your experience with some Indonesian band. That's very interesting actually.
Boleh dikit. Ya, kakek saya dulunya asalnya dari Semarang,
Huh?
Kendal Semarang ya. Jadi tapi saya kelahiran Singapura. And so I have lots of friends in Indonesia, in Jakarta, and also in Bandung. So a long time ago, 20 years ago, I actually worked with a band called Mocha. You might know Mocha actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So
I know Mocha.
yeah. So
Yeah,
those are my friends,
the
and we
vocalist Karina, right? Sister
yeah.
of Dewi Lestari. Yeah, yeah, I know it.
So uh, I had a business. I had a startup, a music business where we help bands like Mocha, to distribute around the music around the world. So that's my relationship with Indonesia. And again, I'm half or part Indonesian, so I love the culture. I love the food.
Yeah, that's great to hear that. Hi, Kang Raki. Apa kabar Kang Raki is also from Bandung. Hi, Nita. Hello. Hi, 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 everybody. So today we're gonna talk about Management 3.0, yeah, Isman. Can you tell us a bit about what is Management 3.0? Why 3.0? Because people talking about Industry 4.0 kan ya. Why is
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
What is this animal? Mhm.
So what is Management 3.0? So it is a brand, right? I mean, it is it's a brand that is created to help us understand the difference between what is good leadership versus what should we do less of.
What should
So
be the list of? Okay.
yeah, but because in some context, in Management 1.0 is about how do we get organizations or factories working very well. So 1.0 is the era when humankind started to develop factories, started to do industrialization. So what we were trying to do with organizations before that was try to be more effective, more productive, more efficient, right? So and it was working because in back in 1.0 we were managing machines.
Hmm.
We were making sure machines are working very well, they are well oiled, they do not break down, and in some cases, machine can be improved considerably if we allow the machines to if they are well maintained. So what is the difference between 1.0 and 2.0? So 2.0 is when leaders and managers started to realize that, hey, wait a minute, like in a lot of organizations today, and in a lot of cases, organizations still have machines, but there are a lot more humans involved in the process of creating value for the customer, right? So in 2.0, the idea is that we need to protect, we need to help our employees, our workers, to kind of like become more productive. We send them to training. We create we create welfare, like we do team building. We pay them a lot of money. It was working for a while. It was working for a while because of the fact that there's such a thing called hierarchies, right? Kalau bahasa Indonesianya apa hierarchies?
Hierarchies is hierarchy, yeah, yeah.
Hierarchy, yeah, yeah. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in a hierarchical structure in the traditional organization, the hierarchy helps to control the organization. So, this is how 90% of most organizations are structured today. There is a leader at the top, there's maybe 2 or 3 levels of manager who have a few more people below who they are controlling. So that is traditional to what we've always had.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the difference is that we are starting to look after our people better. So that was going on for since industrialization age, right up till maybe around the year 1990s or 2000. So what happened then? Is that technology has improved so much that we can find a lot of knowledge, we can find a lot of information, we can find training just by having access to a computer, right? We are starting to do a better job than our manager. We can solve more problems than our manager. So this is a good thing because, hey, we have uh, an environment where people are able to solve problems, but at the same time, because we are still in a very hierarchical, structured organizations, it is actually limiting what we can do as employees or as workers, because we are still responsible, to whatever we do, we are still responsible to the manager, and whatever the manager we do is the responsibility of manager as well. So manager doesn't want to lose her or his job, so they don't want to take risks. They want to make sure that there is not too many changes in organizations. So that is, in a nutshell, what is management 2.0. The fact that we still have hierarchies, we have people who are becoming more equipped, managers who are more enlightened, but at the same time not able to fully develop the environment. So 3.0 is different. So in 3.0 there are a lot of concepts that are borrowed or are inspired from the agile movement, right?
Ah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be very familiar with agile, right? So in agile we always talk about something like we do not manage people, we manage the work. What do you understand about that?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what maybe pop up in many of the audience and also people who read the flyer about Management 3.0. Why it is so close between Agile and Management 3.0? Even Management 3.0 is mentioned as one of the Agile framework, right? Yeah,
uh
claimed as Agile framework.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
I say it's the leadership practices, the tools, and especially the thinking around leadership that will help you to better do agile, or to help you better create an agile culture. Uh,
How?
so,
How
so the question is
actually
how?
is it going?
Yeah,
Haha.
how, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, so there are many concepts like okay, back to the idea of knowledge, right?
Okay.
The world is so complex today that not one single person or not one single manager can solve the problem by his or herself. We agree to that in normal conversation. We agree to that, but in a in a workplace or in our uh, in our society, we have what we call the superhero complex, right? We have a superhero culture, right? Oh, no, 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 I think the boss knows better, so we should not speak up. So, so, so what management 3.0 is trying to do is that it's trying to say that we can be a leader uh, in our own context. Every one of us is a leader. We do not have to we can respect someone who is more senior, who is more experienced. We can give them, we can give them the respect they deserve. But at the same time, leadership is distributed across the entire organization. It doesn't just have to be in a group of people who make decisions. So in a complex environment, making decisions is not the easiest thing because there are so many things like blind spots. There's so many things of lack of information. So how do you do leadership in a complex environment? So, one of the ways you can explore is how do you think about developing a system of distributed leadership across your entire organization?
Hmm. Ya. Distributed leadership. Oke, one moment. Untuk teman-teman yang udah bergabung, Hai Prayo, ada Mbak Nia juga di sini. Kalau teman-teman mau nanya tentang apa itu Agile, apa itu Management 3.0, dan apa hubungannya sih Agile sama Management 3.0, silahkan banget. Di sini udah ada ahlinya. Aku manggilnya apa ya? Cikgu, karena karena dari Semarang ya, Semarang Singapura, jadinya aku manggil Mas Cikgu Isman ini adalah pakarnya Agile dan pakarnya Management 3.0. Okay, you mentioned about hierarchy. So it doesn't mean that Management 3.0 is against hierarchy. Management 3.0 is different with what do you call it? The no hierarchy concept, the holacracy, right?
Holacracy, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with holacracy, it's a nice idea, but in
Mm-hmm.
implementation, it's very hard. Just like in Agile, right? Trying to build squads, chapters, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. So here's the key difference. So in Management 3.0, we say that hierarchy is okay. 90% of all organizations have an hierarchy. So
Yeah.
we do not fight that. But if we accept hierarchy, then how do we as managers do something differently?
Right. This is an interesting question from Kang Raki. Kang Raki because he is from Bandung, so we call him Kang, ya. What is your view on digital corporate governance in relation to Management 3.0? Is there any changes or adjustment needed to the traditional corporate governance?
So what does it mean by digital corporate governance? I need to clarify that.
Kang Raki, mungkin bisa tolong dielaborate digital corporate governance-nya itu maksudnya gimana? But maybe I can try to relate something. If an organization want to implement Management 3.0, is it should be imposed by the top level, or it can be just spreading from the grassroots, let's say something like that, or it should be a program that you have to be a top-down program?
I mean, that's a great question. There's no, there's no wrong or right answer, or there's no one way to do it. But I think more importantly is that the idea that everyone in the organization wants to change, wants to see the change happen. So
what kind of changing? What kind of changing?
It's a very simple thing. Like say, yesterday we do 5 meetings, and a lot of people are saying we're doing too many meetings. Can we stop doing too many meetings?
Mm-hmm.
most times we talk about it, but we don't do it. We complain about it, but we don't say, let's stop doing more meetings. But it's a simple change like that. Okay, from next week onward, we're going to reduce meetings by 30%.
Okay.
Right? So that can be done by a C-level person. That can be done by a middle manager. That can be done by an employee. Anyone can start to think about, okay, how do we collectively want to see this change happen? So let me give you an example of what is happening in agile transformation, right? In agile transformation, in a lot of ways, is the leader read a book or saw a webinar that says, "Oh, the industry 4.0, we need agile transformation. This is a great idea, right? What do we need? Oh, we need to go and start to look for solutions. We look at consultants. We look at having agile coaches. So the top says, oh, yeah, we should change. And then they started to create a program. They started to, put more programs together. We want to put all these things. And then they start to roll it down towards the entire organization. So what happens in most cases than not is that not everyone wants to change. So the management assume that there is something going wrong, like across the entire organization, and make the whole change down towards the entire organization. But what if, let's say the organization has about 50 teams, right? Out of that 50 teams, 10 teams are actually very, very efficient, very productive, and very effective. 10 teams are working really well. But the management doesn't know this. Oh, no, we have to do agile transformation. So again, it doesn't have to be a management, doesn't have to be a program level. It has to come from, everyone wants to be part of the change. But if you ask me, where should we start from? It should start from middle managers.
It should start from middle managers, even though there is no endorsement from top management.
Yeah, you can do management 3.0, the day after you attend the class.
Okay, that's interesting. So it can start by an individual who want to apply it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea is that how do we, the idea around management or leadership is that, we are going to do something innovative. We are going to do something different. And then we are going to make other people change by, taking a new tool, or we're going to do this new way of doing things. But we never question, shouldn't we do the change first? Because it's really hard for people to accept change. But we should change first, and then people will follow, right? We do something different. Okay, we're going to say, next week, we are going to do 30% less meeting. I'm going to make sure that this will happen. So that's one of the ideas of management. Change comes from us.
That's interesting. So it's from the change management point of view. So it can be said that this is small changes that can move the organization into bigger changes, something like that. So it can be start from an individual. It can be start from the smallest things that he or she can change. Then it can be start as soon as possible. So teman-teman, kalau pada hafal AAGIM ini agak mirip sih sama jargonnya AAGIM. Mulai dari diri sendiri, mulai sekarang juga, dan mulai dari yang paling kecil gitu ya. Is that correct, Isman? Do you familiar with AAGIM?
AAGIM, no. So
AAGIM is one of the ustad in Indonesia. Lives in Gegar Kalong, Bandung.
Okay. So,
okay.
Say again. Yeah.
This is Kang Raki clarify his question about governance. He means that what is your view on corporate governance in this digital era in relation to management 3.0? Like maybe particularly in the financial services industry, let's say the governance is very strict. Can be applied this framework or this way of thinking, this management 3.0 thinking in the environment that's highly governed, something like that.
So let me think. Let me remember what is corporate governance from my MBA days, right? Is really putting rules and systems around the
Yeah,
organization so that
yeah.
it forms, in a secure manner. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I've never quite enjoyed corporate governance as when I was studying it, right? Because because I think that if an organization can develop a level of trust among each other, if every day we all are, each and every one of us are developing trust, the less we need corporate governance. But how do we, we talk about trust in organizations, in teams, but what we typically we do not action on it a lot, right? We only talk
Mm-hmm.
about it, yeah, trust, but we do not action about it. So management 3.0 are the kind of practices where, hey, wait a minute, you are a person. I need to understand, how do you feel about working in this organization, and how much trust that you have for the management, that the management is doing the right thing, and how much trust does the management have for you as an individual of doing the right thing. So the space of corporate governance is that, okay, we're gonna impose all these rules, we're gonna put constraints around it without, I mean, I'm just generalizing it, without actually trying to build the trust. So Management 3.0 is trying to build the trust among people so that you just need to do less and less governance. So let me give you an example of a client that I work with in Hong Kong. This is a global pharma company that is based out of Switzerland, and this is their kind of like the branch in Hong Kong. They are a group, a few hundred people. Uh, Aline, how many pages do you think is their expenses rules and regulation for expenses?
20?
This is a global Swiss company, okay? Global
Okay.
Swiss pharma company in a very regulated industry. The document for expenses compensation and claims is one line.
Really?
We trust you to do the right thing in the
Wow.
interest of our customers. The more you take the money from this organization, the more we have less to spend on the benefits of our customers.
Wow. That's very interesting.
So, hey, governance, right? If you can create that kind of trust environment, you actually can reduce a lot of friction and a lot of, a lot of needs to create all these unnatural rules and laws. I hope I
Yeah.
got the answer. So,
Yeah. I think I can get the sense what's management 3.0 concept, yeah. This is what I love about Agile, because Agile put the concept into practical things, yeah. So this is another key question that I want to ask. You say that we understand that many leadership program, many leadership training is only sharing about what is a good leader, but never really help us to be a good leader. So what is the difference between this management 3.0 as a leadership concept compared to other leadership concept, like maybe you have situational leadership, you have
mm,
what adaptive leadership, many
yeah,
many leadership concept, right?
yeah. So the difference is that uh, in a lot of leadership practices or of literature, right? Leadership is, like you said, it's a concept. It's something to aspire to. Oh, I want to be a visionary leader like Steve Jobs. I want to be a brave leader like Barack Obama. But most times it doesn't explain. So how do you do it?
Yes, correct.
How do you do leadership, right? But in Management 3.0, there are a set of practices that have been adapted from Agile, from OD, from design thinking that will help you learn ways to, let's take this activity called delegation poker. When we talk
Hmm.
about delegating work to people in our team, or it sounds like you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, right? But in the delegation poker, this activity is actually open up to everybody,
Hmm.
right? So everyone has a chance to talk about. So what does delegation means for this team? Does this task means that I do it, or is it somebody that you do it, or this is a task that the manager has to do it? So it becomes very, very clear. It becomes very, very visual. It becomes very, very apparent that for this team to work very, very well, these are the set of delegation rules that we need to follow.
Hmm.
So it's not about, again, there's an idea around agile is that, oh, teams are self-organizing, teams can do whatever they want as long as they meet the needs of the customer. But it's a bit like that, but it's not everything. It means that as a manager, as a leader, we create the kind of environment, we create the constraint for people to to do as much as they can, or perform as well as they can, or create an environment where they can fail, but we provide the environment, we provide the constraint. And this is the idea. So they could, that's one thing, delegation poker. We could do something like understanding what is the motivation around the team. Motivation is a funny thing, right? Today I'm so motivated to work. 3 days later, I'm like, I don't want to be here. But how do we understand why? Why is that happening? Right? So there are many things like how do we create a culture of uh, celebrating failures or celebrating success, right? How do we accept failure in this team? So these are like some of the tools that Management 3.0 have provided, have created, that you can learn from the workshop.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I do some coaching session with some young leaders, and one of their biggest challenge as a leader is doing delegation. Jadi teman-teman yang menarik dari manajemen 3.0 ini, kita kan belajar bahwa dalam leadership kita harus belajar mengenai delegasi karena is it okay? I'm talking in bahasa
Ya,
ya.
ya, ya. Saya
Karena
ngerti.
tanpa delegasi kita nggak bisa free up our time sehingga kita bisa melakukan pekerjaan lain yang sifatnya lebih koordinatif. Seringkali kan itu konsep yang disampaikan. Tapi uh, kenapa sih orang takut atau sulit melakukan delegasi, itu yang nggak di-crack gitu ya. Dan yang kedua, oke, gue tahu, gue sadar bahwa gue mesti melakukan delegasi, tapi gimana ya caranya? Apa ya step by step-nya? Nah, di manajemen 3.0 ini kita akan diajarin sejumlah tools, salah satunya delegation poker itu ya.
Yeah.
Kemudian kita sering bilang bahwa as a leader kita pengen ngembangin innovation culture gitu ya, dimana innovation itu akan terjadi kalau kita nggak kasih ruang untuk orang berbuat salah. Tapi dalam kesehariannya sebagai manajer kita kan kalau salah juga ya stres juga ya kalau ya kan, kalau anak biasa kita juga juga gitu, apalagi kalau ada beberapa tekanan juga dari stakeholders gitu ya. Tapi di manajemen 3.0 ini kita diajarin ada celebrating failure itu harus kayak gimana sih. Jadi ini adalah kayak ini ya, help you to practicing leadership concept itu in the practical level, gitu ya.
Yeah. Jadi ya kan tadi we talk about how do we create the culture, is it top down, is it bottom, or is it middle? So again, it's really about it's opening up this conversation, is allowing culture to happen, that will allow people to become better at what they do, become braver. So it's really about opening up these conversations, and we cannot wait for L&D, we cannot wait for OD, we cannot wait for HR. It's about each and every one of us doing change ourselves so that we can impact the environment, our team, and the organization.
Okay, so jadi who is the most suitable for the program if people want to learn management 3.0? Is the person should have a team, should lead a team, or it can be an individual?
I, I always believe that we must allow everyone to be a leader. This is a concept in Islam, right?
Right,
Okay, maybe this Islam is a bit skewed to the males, but in Islam, everyone can be an imam,
right.
right? You can lead people. So this is about distributed leadership. But from young, we are taught about, how to do Islam, right? We are taught about the way to think so that we are equipped with the skill to become a leader when the time comes. So I say, even if if you're not a manager now, what's stopping you from learning leadership, or what's stopping you from learning good management? Because we want you to learn a good habit rather than seeing a bad habit of your current manager, right? So that's, you open to that. So but if I always say that, how who would be most impacted by this program? I would say, people who are managing teams, who are agile coaches. If you have, sometimes agile is very process oriented, but actually agile is about people. So, these are the people tools that you can bring in before even you start to train someone in Scrum. Before you train someone in Kanban, you develop the people environment, you develop the bantal, ya, bantal untuk the team to be comfortable with each other so that we can accept concepts in Agile.
Wow, that's very nice concept ya. Jadi we provide bantal for our team so
Yeah,
you can feel safe ya.
yeah, safe
Okay,
environment.
yeah. Okay, this is one more question. Still about the governance. Yeah, how about ISO? If a company implement ISO told us to stick to the process and corporate governance. So if a company
Hmm.
uh, adopting ISO, how this can be work together?
Yeah, I mean, so why do companies have ISO? That's my first question. Why do companies go for ISO?
Hmm.
So companies go for ISO because they want to show that the products or the services that they do meet a certain level of quality, right? So it's I think from that perspective, yes. Uh, if you are in a mature organization, then ISO is very, very helpful. But the fact that you have ISO, it is it in the way of you innovating? So the question is, is ISO is creating an environment where you cannot innovate because you have to follow rules, right? So that is so. At the same time, it may be hard to create, to overhaul the entire culture of the organization, but it doesn't have to stop from that perspective. It could be from a manager's perspective. Okay, my company is an ISO standard company, but as a manager, I want to be a manager. What is the people skills, the people tools that I should have to create a good team environment that create good work so that my company can continue to be creating better quality products and services that leads to ISO qualification.
Yeah. This is one comment because required by partners. Because partner ask you to have ISO certification or something like that. Hi,
Right,
we have
right.
Tami here. Tami is from Max Power. Is the head of HR in Max Power. Okay, that's yeah. I forgot something that I want to ask you. But talking about millennials, do you think that millennials will love this concept uh, compared to colonials generation?
I like that. Colonials. I Yeah, I mean, I think naturally they want to, this is what I believe. Like, you and I, we were millennials at some point, right? We finished school, we learned so much about in school about, I don't know, marketing, finance, HR. Oh, wow, we want to make a difference. We want to change the world. So this is how we felt as well, right? Aline, you agree with me when we finished school? But then when we enter the workplace, where it is traditional, the mindset is still very traditional, we can either rebel or we can follow the flow because we need a paycheck, right? So so I don't think this is something only for millennials, but it's also something for people of our age or even older who thinks that there's a better way to do management, who thinks that there's a better way to help people grow, help the team becomes more cohesive. So it is not just for millennials. I mean, they would love if you are leading a group of millennials, you will understand why they think in a certain way, why they think that leadership is something that they want to do. They want to make a difference in this world. So it will help you to open up your mindset around why is the new generation like this. So I'm pretty sure, but at the same time, if you allow millennials to, to do everything that they want to do, you're going to be in trouble as well, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, sure. All of them.
Yeah, right. So, but
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
but Mission Entrepreneur is the tool. Like, yes, we can be innovative, we can take risks, we want to change the world. But how
Mhm.
do you create the constraint to make this happen? What is the boundaries that you can create to help this happen?
Okay. Ah, because management 3.0 is toolbox, what kind of tools that it will teach us, it will provide us beside the delegation poker you
Yeah.
mentioned it before, and then celebrating value, what other tools that management
Uh,
3.0 will teach us?
there are more of the team building tools like personal mapping. I think I mentioned moving motivators. So how do you yeah, I think in your line of work you know how to do assessments around what is the health of the team at this point in time. So
Mm-hmm.
so so this is part of moving motivators as well. You can have things like a medalist game. How do you look at if you're a manager of a large group of people, or how do you create how do you add more people, how do you create more teams, or how do you create more value for the customer by putting on more teams? Sometimes when an organization is in a growth mode, what they do is that just hire and hire and hire and hire. But they never quite think about, if you add 5 more people to this team, would it actually help with productivity, or would it actually cause a lot more tension? So what do you
Mm-hmm.
do? Should you create, should you separate the team? So that's part of the game called Medler's game. And then that's one thing. So Management 3.0 is also a way to look at teams and organization in a system thinking environment. The other thing would be, there's a game around competency. So sometimes in our job as a leader, we kind of look at our team members as individuals, right? He or she need digital marketing skills. So okay, you are going to help that person to go for a course, a digital marketing course. Yes, you solve a problem, but how about that problem in context of a team? Oh, wait a minute, you send that person to a digital marketing course, but the rest of the team doesn't know what is digital marketing, right? So you kind of like need to look at it from a system perspective and kind of understand, oh, if you help to optimize this person, which other areas you need to optimize as well. So, you kind of look at it in a more holistic, so that you create teams that are more balanced. So imagine, so here's a concept, right, that I can share. It might be controversial for some of you who are coaches. When we do one-to-one coaching, we are
Mm-hmm.
optimizing one person, right? But what if the other 5% in the team doesn't have coaches of their own or doesn't get coaching. So what you want to do is you want to coach the entire team so that they rise together, so that they are always balanced together. And this is part of the concept of management training. So some of the games are based around that as well. Around how do you create a nice system? Yeah.
Oke, very very interesting. Jadi teman-teman di manajemen 3.0 ini kita akan dibekali sejumlah toolbox mengenai bagaimana caranya kita membuat menjadi leader yang lebih efektif tadi ya. Gimana caranya coaching rather than one-on-one coaching, tapi tim coaching supaya mereka tumbuh bersama kayak gitu. Terus gimana caranya mengakses kebutuhan tim Anda tanpa harus belajar terlalu lama tentang tools yang jelimet gitu ya. Ini kita sediakan practical toolsnya gitu di dalam manajemen 3.0 gitu ya. So jadi in the management 3.0, let's say people want to learn the management 3.0 concept. What is the learning journey then?
What is the learning journey? That's a good one. So this is a question I asked. So as with it is okay. So in a formal sense, it is a 2-day workshop. But you don't have to stop there. So so again, we will equip you with the beginning tools that you can start to do. But beyond that, you can join the community as a supporter, as a management 3.0 supporter, and it will allow you to access more modules, more tools for you to use in your teams or in your organization. So it's really it's really in the beginning of what we call agile leadership. Right. I think most of us who are in organization, we heard about agile, self-organizing team. So it's really quite new, early days in terms of what is the new management looks like, right? So equally in the entire management 3.0 community, we are also still quite new. I mean the practice has been around for a long time, but we are also learning together, So if you attend this training, there's a group of community where you can ask question on how do I deal with this problem, or what is the kind of tool that I should use to help my teams perform something better. So it's really about, this is the beginning of the journey. You learn some of the tools, you practice them, and then you be part of a community, and we can all grow together as leaders and managers of work.
Oh, okay. There is a question. Do we need to finish the book first to be optimal?
No, you don't have to. So you don't have to. It's basically it's the more important parts of the book. You can read the book. You can read the theory. But how does this theory is developed into the tools, into the games that you can use in your organization, in your team, the very next day. So the good thing about online training is that because it's broken up into a few days, I can give homework. So I'm going to make sure that you do a homework after the first session, and you come back to the next session with your homework to show that you have tried something with your team, and what are the results.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about the tools, how many tools up to now that Management 3.0 have?
I actually don't know the numbers. Actually, a lot.
And it's still evolving. Yeah, they still developing.
Yeah.
And after you join the training and you join the community, you will keep on updated about the tools. Yeah.
Yes. So the tools is, like I said, is continually growing. So the people in Management 3.0 is continuously putting tools in there. Even the 2-day program, or rather the workshop, doesn't cover all the tools. But the good thing is that you can go online and you can read up about the tools, and you can just practice them. If you have question about how to run the tools, you can ask anyone in the community who has done it before. Yeah. There's this question in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm just curious, how can middle managers persuade top management to shift from traditional management, hierarchical, role focus, into a more collaborative and open organization?
So this is my suggestion. Do it first. We can't wait for C-levels to start doing it or telling us to do it. Or maybe perhaps they will not tell us to do it because they're too busy. But what if we can do it? uh, that's why in Management 3.0, the change start with us. So let's say your organization has never done, your 20 teams, 30 teams in your organizations have never done a stand-up meeting, a daily stand-up. So you as a manager, you're going to do, okay, my team is going to start to doing daily stand-up every day, maybe every 2 days for the next 1 month and see what happens. We're going to experiment, right? But I can bet you when the first day you start to do daily stand-up, other people will ask you, what were you doing? I want to know what is that. Just by the fact that you're doing something, other people will become curious. Even better if you can show result. Oh, because of daily stand-up, we have lessened the number of meetings that we are doing. We have gotten a lot more transparency into the work that we do. So just by doing these little things that that is within our control, by showing its impact, by talking about its impact, I'm pretty sure your C-level, your the top management can agree to that if you start to do it yourself.
Yeah, and maybe if I can add something
Yes.
more is put data on it, measure and put data. So anything you talk about to management, to top management, you speak by data, not only qualitative judgment, something like that. So measure it, even though it's not financial measurement. Maybe you can measure it in terms of speed, effectiveness, happiness, whatever it is, but just put some data, right?
Yeah, and as long as you keep your impact, your data very visible, like say you have a Kanban bot,
Yeah.
right, management is going to say, oh, what is that? Oh, I want to know more. Can you tell me why are you doing this? What impact have you gotten? If you have shown, with your experiment that you are delivering positive value, I am very sure they want to know and they want to roll it out even more for the entire organization.
Okay. Are we saying that we will be changing parts of the organization which doesn't involve the decision from the top? Robin Cavaton asked it. Hi, Robin. You really follow this discussion, yeah? I think Robin is an agile coach also.
Yeah. So I think. Okay, so I do agile training, right? I do agile training for business agility. So a lot of times when I have students in my class, learners in my class, they get very excited. Oh, this is agile. I love agile. Agile is very good. But then they will come to me and say, "But my manager is not here. My manager is not here to hear what I've just told them. So this is never going to happen." So this is where you need to change the mindset instead of like getting an approval for things to happen or something to be rolled out, as opposed to the mindset is, okay, I am going to do it. I am going to do it in my space, in my team, with the elements that I can control. You may not be able to do organizational transformation, but you can organize a lean coffee event. You can organize, what do you call it? A meetup at lunchtime. You don't have to wait for HR. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you to do it. So we have to help ourselves and each other, like saying that, hey, we can start to do this together. It's okay if you're too busy to do it, but we started slowly, just like the independence movement. I'm not too sure about the independence movement of Indonesia, but like India, it all starts like very small, right? It all starts small, like in Egypt, and then when things become like small little fires, it will grow and become big fires. So yeah.
Ya, mungkin teman-teman yang banyak terlibat di transformasi, perubahan organisasi, emang paling gampang dan idealnya konsep perubahan itu adalah di drop dari atas gitu ya. Maka semua mau nggak mau akan berubah dengan SK, dengan SOP-nya, dengan policy itu akan di reinforce gitu ya. Tapi perubahan nggak semua perubahan harus nunggu gitu kan, karena sebenarnya kondisi di lapangan yang dirasakan sama karyawan ya mungkin nggak bisa cepat sense by top management, tapi kita yang dekat dengan teman-teman di lapangan bisa sense that concern gitu dari teman-teman gitu ya. Nah, makanya perubahan-perubahan kecil ini bisa-bisa saja dilakukan. Yang penting pertama, kalau dari sisi mungkin stakeholders manajemennya harus baik gitu kan ya, nggak semua ditabrak gitu ya. You don't push the you don't push the brick wildly gitu kan. So you really need to think about stakeholders management. Ya kayak tadi bisa create meet up sama teman-teman di departemen tertentu, and then show the happiness di situ. Kemudian bisa diukur employee experience-nya. Oh iya, after regular meet up, employee experience-nya meningkat, employee happiness-nya meningkat. Ada sesudah lean coffee table kita merasa lebih bisa berkomunikasi and something like that gitu ya.
Yeah. Also, one more perspective. It's, I mean, I don't like the word transformation. I'm not a fan of the word. Nggak suka sekali ya. Jelek. The word transformation itu kayak sepertinya seperti Aladdin kan yang di apa yang jin itu bisa jadi berubah jadi anjing, jadi binatang lain kan. Itu transformation ya. But we are humans. We don't change like that. Right? But so don't look at this as change, but look at this from how do we solve our everyday problems.
Correct.
This is the idea behind design thinking, right? We're not trying to change anything, but we are trying to solve problems. And in a lot of organizations, actually a lot of us are the most closest to the problem. Our problem is our team has very low morale, or my monitor screen, my computer screen is too dark. So these are the problems that we can change, that we should be changing, and not waiting for other people to tell us to solve this problem. We should be, we should be more, we should be more open to the idea that we can improve our environment. We can solve the problems rather than saying my team have to change. No, about how can we solve problems on a daily basis?
As particularly in current situation, in this pandemic situation, everybody say we are in the same storm, but maybe we are in different boats, right? So everybody has their own problem. So what do you think Management 3.0 can do to help managers or maybe people in the organization to face the uncertainty, the volatility, the ambiguity and complexity in today's condition?
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, right? Because some of the problems that we have, we cannot control. Increasingly, we cannot predict the future now. We cannot even predict what will happen in 2 weeks' time, right? So we are not in the world of experts anymore. We are not experts anymore. But what we can do in our space is to solve the problem of the present. Right? Our team is now distributed in many at home. But what can we do to increase trust? What can we do to to be more empathetic to, okay, this person's internet is not so good. Yes, like Frozen, let it go.
And I'm stuck singing.
But we have to let it go. We cannot control. We can no more control. But we have to work with what we have. We solve the problems within our space. If you as one person is starting to do it, when people see that you are trying to do leadership in this way, management in this way, other people will be inspired. So so the change, or rather the transformation will happen, organically. Everyone will, oh wow, there's a different way to do this.
Oke. Manajemen 3.0 ini menarik banget. Ini adalah leadership konsep yang boleh dikatakan baru dan sangat align dengan Agile. Nah, sekarang pertanyaannya, so how can we learn Management 3.0? How? Kita pengen belajar nih. Iya, I want to learn.
Datang to the class.
Join the class. When will be the class? Tanggal 9 ya. We're gonna have online class for Management 3.0, and it's certified by Management 3.0 globally ya.
Yes.
So after you take the class, you will be certified by Management 3.0 as Management 3.0 practitioner or what?
Practitioner. Yeah.
Practitioner. So, jadi nanti akan ada online kelasnya mulai tanggal 9, 11 kalau nggak salah. Akan ada 4 kali pertemuan, masing-masing pertemuan itu 3 jam ya.
Yeah.
Ya, masing-masing pertemuan itu 3 jam. Kalau if I'm not mistaken, jam 1 sampai jam 4 sore kalau nggak salah. Nanti teman-teman bisa cek di link bio-nya Better & Co. Di sana ada jadwal lengkapnya tentang training manajemen 3.0 ini ya, bareng sama Isman. Jadi kita akan belajar tentang detail tools-nya apa aja, and it will really help us to be more effective leaders. Oke, ini kayaknya Mas Gunawan Roy kok ketawa, kayaknya pengen daftar. Oh, dia
Ada
tetap
homework
loaded.
ya, sama homework. Ya, sama homework.
Diperiksa, ada ujiannya nggak?
Nggak,
Ada ujian
cuman
nggak?
it's just bragging rights. You can brag that you did your homework with your team.
Oke, good. Ada lagi mungkin yang mau di-share, Isman, maybe some of your best practices, gimana pengalaman sama klien yang implement manajemen 3.0 sebelum kita akhiri, karena sesi IG Live ini maksimal 1 jam.
Makes sense. Oh, okay. Best practices. Yeah, I mean, I think back to that question earlier on that you have. Well, what do you do in a pandemic, right? There's a lot you can do, but we have to start to think about what we do as experiments. So how do you think about doing experiments every day? Because things change so fast. Like in Singapore, we are going to come out of the circuit breaker in 1 week, but what will happen then? But what can we do now is, start to think about the experiments every day that we can do with our team. In the management context, what can we do with our team? What is, in your next team meeting, what is the game that you can bring for everyone to enjoy? That's an experiment. Some people like it, some people don't. If a lot of people don't like it, then don't do it. So what next can you do? So it's just like science, right? Science is not like you do one thing, you get 100% answer, but you do many things.
So, iteration, yeah.
And and that is part of creativity as well. So a lot of people think that we have creative leaders, creative artists, creative singer. They're so good, they're so talented. But the science is actually, and the data is actually different. The reason why some people are more creative than others is because they do a lot more things that fail. You do many things, and one thing happens to be a masterpiece. That's how the Mona Lisa happened, right? There were so many sketches, there were so many prototypes, and then the Mona Lisa happened. So again, look at experiments. Like, do as many experiments as you can. You never know what will work, and you never know what will not work.
This may be a bit there is some intersection with zona question. Can we optimize this management 3.0 not only to solve but to anticipate before the problems happen? Kamu suuzon itu zona aja.
Bisa diulang question?
Can we apply management 3.0 not only to solve problem but to anticipate before the problems happen? So before the problem, we can do anticipation by management 3.0. Can we do that?
I think it's maybe. I don't have the answer, but I look at this from system thinking. Right? When we do agile, we talk about system thinking. One of the ways to understand the system is to make the system very transparent. Right? In order to make the system transparent is by in a people context, not machines, but in a people context, is to make all data transparent. If the management 3.0 practices that we practice on a regular basis is showing a lot of transparency in our people system, you can actually avoid some of the problems that might happen in 3 weeks' time. Oh, wait a minute. In this daily stand-up yesterday, I heard that someone in the team is not very happy about a particular task. And that person share willingly, right? So what do you do as a manager? Do you address it? Yes, Alim.
Yeah, no, this is 15 seconds remain.
Okay.
So we can
Yeah.
finish this session. So,
Yeah. So
the last but not least, if you want to know about Management 3.0, attend the training, just click the link in the bio, yeah?